Twisted civilization.
Yes, you're right. If you're twisted civilization. I simply defend my honor and am condemned to life confinement by a pig who sits on his royal ass, wooing whores, and knows nothing of the affairs of the land he imagines to rule.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Lectures, Grigner? Good stage direction in there. Enough of this! Away with the slut before I lose my control!
Slut again?
You're right in the countryside, you get arrested.
I notice it's loose my control, not lose my control.
Exactly.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Seeing the peril of his position, Grigner searched for an opening. Rushing Prudence to the sward,
He must be Prudence.
he pounded into the soldier at his left arm, taking hold of his sword, and bounding to
there wasn't one.
the dais.
That's two.
I put what in?
You paused like there was a comma, there was no comma.
Oh no, you should be able to let them.
There was a comma after sword.
No,
Yeah,
you shouldn't fault people for pausing.
Come on, I have the sword in my hand.
And bounding to the dais, G-I-A-S, supporting the prince before the startled guards could regain their composure. Agathon leaped Grigner and his sire, but found a sword blade permeating.
Wait, what? Could you read that again?
Agathon leaped
You're Agathon.
Grigner and his sire. I suspect he means leaped on, not leaped over, but
Yeah.
it just says leap.
Okay.
But found a sword blade permeating the length of his ribs before he could loose his weapon.
So I didn't disarm the prisoner, right?
No,
I got it from her.
Okay.
You got it from
The
Prudence.
counselor slumped to his knees as Grigner slid his crimsoned blade from Agthon's ribcage. The fat prince stood undulating in unsurmountable fear.
Undulate, I say!
Undulate! Arriba, undulate!
Grigner liked this part.
Before the edge of his fiery-gleamed comet, his slabs of jelly of blubber.
That's what you give everybody gets going to work.
His slabs of jellied blubber pulsed to and fro in ripples of flowing terror.
Technically, the rules that I've read, when the reader loses it like that,
Yes.
their turn's over.
Oh, sorry.
But you want to read the immortalized his flabs of jelly blubber.
Undulating to and fro.
Where are we?
Where is your wisdom and
Isn't that a Robert Jordan and Pippa Tequila?
Okay, so we need a new king. Oh, he's gonna be.
Well, he's dead before. Yeah, he's dead on the ground, so yeah. And I already ran him through once, so here's my chance to run him through again. Or is it?
Where's your wisdom and power now, your majesty?
Oh, wait, where's my Kermit voice?
Oh, you're right, sorry. Where is your wisdom and power now, your majesty? Growled Grigner. The prince went rigid as Grigner discerned him glazing over his shoulder. What?
The glaze goes with the jelly flat.
You're gonna love this next word. He swallived. He swallived, not swivel. He swallived the cause of the noble's attention, raising his sword over his head and preparing to leash a vicious downward cleft, but
Got to now.
fell short as the haft of a steel-rimed pike clashed against his unguarded skull. Then blackness and solitude, silence enshrouding and ever peaceful. And ever peaceful. That's what I said.
I didn't hear the D, sorry.
Come on, black out. Let me finish. Black out.
And ever peaceful. Reigned is an interesting spelling of it. supreme. Before thee, Sarah! Before thee as always! Ha! 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 Nobly crackle, cackle, cackle.
End of that chapter.
Chapter 3.
We're gonna
skip it through.
3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Consciousness returns to prisoner in stigmatic pools as his mind gradually cleared of the cobwebs cluttering its inner recesses. Yet, the stifling cloud of charcoal ebony remained, an incompatible shield of blackness, enhanced by the bleak absence of sound.
I'm going to skip a little bit of a description.
I know, we got it.
Just in a prison.
3.5.
Chapter 3.5.
3.5?
Yes.
Go.
A tightly run elliptical circle or torches cast their wavering shafts prancing morbidly over the smooth surface of a rectangular ridged altar. Expertly chiseled forms of grotesque gargoyles grace the oblique rims protruding the length of the grim orifice of death, staring forever ahead into nothingness in complete ignorance of the bloody rites enacted in their presence. I don't know what you guys are going to do with this whole freaking description.
Yeah.
This is a fuck ton of description. Oh, here we go. At the foot of the heathen deity, a slender, pale-faced female, naked, but for a gold and jeweled harness enshrouding her huge, outcropping breasts. Silver laces, which extended to her thighs, stood before the pearl-white field with noticeable shivers, traveling up and down the length of her exquisitely molded body. Her delicate hips trembled beneath soft, narrow hands as she attempted to conceal herself from the piercing stare of the ambivalent idol. Ambivalent, he got right? Glaring directly down towards her was the stony, cycloptic face of the bloated deity, gaping from a single oblong socket with scintillating, many-faceted, scarlet emerald, a brilliant gem seeming to possess a life all of its own. A priceless, gleaming stone, capable of domineering the wealth of conquering empires. The Eye of Argon!
Title drop! But I had the one ring.
Roll credits. Chapter 4, which we're going to skip.
Yes.
Of Chunka.
Yes.
Anguish continued to mount as his means of occupation were rapidly exhausted.
Yes, Grignar's back in his cell again.
Yeah, back in my cell!
Suddenly, without no tip,
What?
I'll read it again. Suddenly, without no tip.
We don't need no stinking tip.
He was rooted, one word, was rooted from his contemplations as he detected a faint scratching sound at the end of the crypt opposite him. The sound seemed to be caused by something trying to scrape away at the ran-tight blocks the floor of the enclosure consisted of. The sandy scratching of something like an animal's claws. Gripner gradually groped his way to the other end of the vault, carefully feeling his way along with his hands ahead of him. When a few inches from the wall, a loud penetrating squeal! Squeal! Very nice. And the scampering of small padded feet reverberated, got right, from the walls of the roughly hewn chamber.
I like that the mice have shoes.
Yeah. What was up with Cinderella putting clothes on the mice? What was up with that? Does anyone know like time? Okay. Grignar threw his hands up to shield his face and flung himself backwards upon his buttocks. You don't have to do that. A fuzzy form bounded to his hairy chest, burying its talons in his flesh while gnashing towards his throat with its grinding white teeth, its sour, fetid breath.
A rat?
Yeah, what do you want from it? Scorching. That's where you say it. Scorching the squimming barbarian's dilating nostrils.
It's an RUS!
Grignar grappled with the lashing flexor muscles of the repugnant body of a gargantuan, brown-hided rat. Gargantuan, you are correct. That's one. Striving to hold its razor teeth from his juicy jugular. great organs of sight blazed into the flaring emeralds of its prey.
Remember, this is a pitch black room.